Alright, today we are going to be working on framing up my bed, which also is the couch, which also is storage, which also is part of the hamper. So it's many things, multifunctional. This is the area. So I'm gonna have my bed is gonna be taller than Bodie's bed. It's gonna be a couch. And so I'm going to start framing up. I got a couple pieces cut already. Everything right here has to work around the water tank, and I'm trying to get as much storage out of this area as I can. That's one of the things that's kind of challenging about building a van, is there has to be so much forethought that goes into every single thing that you build. You have to really pre-plan so much. So you end up spending a lot of time in your van just kind of sitting here measuring things, trying to imagine how you want it to look, kind of trying to pre-plan everything in your mind. There's a ton of time that goes into that. So I got the first piece of framing on there, and it's giving me a good idea of where the bed's gonna go, of the height. So it kind of gives me a shape here of what I'm working with, and now from this point I can start doing all my framing coming off here and down to kind of box this in. I think it's gonna look nice once we get this all painted white, get some framing behind it to add some support for the bed on top. I think it'll look good. So I'm happy with that. Let's go ahead and do the next step. This side's all framed in. There will be a nice face piece of wood that goes over all that, and it'll look really good when it's done. I'm going to do a little bit of framing on the inside here on this wall and put some supports going across the top there. Make it nice and solid. But it's coming along. Alright, the bed framing is all done. Nice and solid. I could let this be super easy, this side. I can just put one sheet of plywood over this and it'd be done. It'd be a piece of cake. However, if you know vans, you know that you have to use as much of the space in the van as possible for storage and creating areas to put stuff. So the plan is I'm going to put a hamper for dirty clothes in here. So I'm going to build a big box that sits on top of the tank here and goes pretty far deep. And on this side wall right here, I'm going to create a laundry chute, a big circle where you can just shove your dirty clothes in there and get them out of the way. For anybody that's ever done camping in RVs or camper trailers or Sprinter vans, you know dirty clothes can make such a mess. A lot of times there's no place to put them. They're just always in the way. Kids just throw their dirty clothes all over the van or over the RV or whatever. So it's important to think about that and make sure you have a place to put your dirty clothes while you're on a trip so they're not annoying you and in the way. Then below here I have this cavity that's 3.5 inches, And I'm gonna make this a nice shelf area so that I can put small things in there and utilize that space and make it look nice. Then over here, I plan to do the same thing on this side, is to put a little cavity of shelving in here. A 10-minute project is probably gonna take me 3 or 4 hours to build. So I'm gonna get started on this now, and I'll show you guys the progress as we go. Alright, I got the first board. That's kind of the back of the wall and shelving here. That's one single piece. It's all kind of cut out to fit that area. Turned out pretty good. So now it's time to start building the shelving and all that goes in there. Yeah, I have to brag a little bit. I'm not like this stellar carpenter by any means, but I try my hardest, and I finished this side piece of wood and I'm so proud of it, so I just gotta show you. Look at this beautiful piece of wood. I scribed it so it fit the curve of the van, which I've never done before. I created this little cubby right here with a shelf so we can put stuff in there. This right here is going to be the laundry chute, and then another storage cubby down here. But it all just like fits perfectly. Everything came together. I spent a ton of time on this. I bet this one piece of wood right here probably took me like 5 hours. There's so many measurements and little cuts and stuff going on there, but I'm super stoked about this piece of wood. The cool thing is, it's going to be one of the first things you see when you open the van. So I tried to spend some extra time on it to make it look really good. Once it's all painted, it's going to look sweet. Super stoked. What I want to do is have this be a single bed most of the time, but at least have the option to convert to a double bed. Right now I have my single bed here, and because this is also going to be the couch, there's going to be a backrest up here that we'll lean against. I've kind of made this like an L-shaped couch, so there's kind of like a chase lounger down there, which will be cool. And basically right now this piece right here can slide out. It's just resting there at the moment, but it's able to slide out to become bigger, and I'm going to put another piece of wood over the top. And for right now I'm going to cut the big top piece that's going to go over all of this right here. And it'll basically cover up the part that slides out, so this will slide out from underneath it. Hey guys, do you ever just wake up excited for the day? I'm telling you, I got the day off of work today, and I've been thinking about working on this van all week. I'm so excited to get going today. Love working on this van. It's gonna be a good day. Let's have some fun, figure out the next little project for this weekend, and see what we can make happen. Alright, so I'm waiting for some parts to show up from Amazon. They're supposed to be here today. Once those arrive, we'll be able to finish off the slide out bed. So in the meantime, we're gonna work on the backrest of the couch. So for an example, I'll use this piece of scrap wood to show you. The idea is I'm gonna create a backrest right here. So when I'm sitting on the bed, I can lean up against this like a couch. It's gonna angle out just so it's nice and comfy with like a couch. But the trick to it is I'm going to create storage in there as well. So it's not just going to be a flat board like this. that'd be way too easy. And we don't do easy, we do awesome. The couch and the sitting area is the focal point of this van. This is where most of the hangout's gonna happen. We're gonna watch movies here. We're gonna play video games here. We're gonna have a good time. It's gonna be a good spot. So let's go to Home Depot, buy some more 3/4 inch plywood, figure out our cabinet setup, and start building. All right. Call that the paint shaking dance. Okay, making progress here. This is going to be the storage compartment and backrest. So I've got the side kind of frame built. Now I'm going to cut the piece that comes down right here and creates the part you lay against with your back on the couch. And then we'll figure out some side pieces and some shelving in the middle. Yeah, that's not bad. Get a nice little cushion on here, cushion down here. Be a nice comfy couch / bed. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, it was super difficult. Okay, so this is the backrest of the couch right here. It's gonna be comfy to sit up against. It's got a nice angle to it, so it's nice and comfortable like a couch. I'll eventually have a custom cushion that will go on there, so it'll be nice and soft. And the thing that was so hard was creating cabinets. So there's actually one cabinet there and one cabinet here. And I'll show you, they swing up and there's nice storage inside. And it's not like a ton of storage, but in a van, every bit of storage counts. The thing that was so hard was these hinges right here. I've never used these kind of hinges. You have to bore out the big hole right here and line everything up just right, and it was pretty difficult for me. But they're a soft close hinge, which is cool, so they close slow. I'll show you that again. So watch how slow this closes. It doesn't just slam. So that's pretty sweet. And there's two. And then up on top there's a window sill, and I still have access to part of my window. I'm really glad I spent the extra time on this. It took me a lot of time. It was pretty difficult. It kind of racked my brain. I'm totally fried right now, but I'm pleased with the outcome. So sometimes the things that are the hardest, if you spend the time on them, it could be worth it in the long run. Just take your time. This took me probably 8 or 9 hours of time to build this dang backrest for this couch. So I'm not kidding, it took a long time, but for me this was a proud moment because it was a struggle and I worked through it and it turned out the way I wanted it to, so I'm happy with it.